This is the Possible Care for Dogs. The podcast begins.
Welcome to a new episode of the Possible Care for Dogs podcast.
Great to be here.
Today we're taking another deep dive, exploring further into Gordon Setter Health, Essential Best Practices for a Happy and Healthy Life by Jude.
Yes, a fantastic topic. Gordon Setters, they're just stunning dogs, aren't they? That elegance, the black and tan coat, and, incredibly loyal.
Yeah, really are.
So today we want to really get into the nitty-gritty beyond just the surface stuff to help ensure these, majestic dogs really thrive.
Absolutely. And they are generally robust, but like you find with many purebreds, Gordon Setters have some specific health things owners should really be aware of.
That's right. Being informed is key.
Exactly. So let's start unpacking some of the common health issues Jude flags up.
Okay, well, a big one is hip and elbow dysplasia.
Right, you hear that a lot with larger active breeds.
You do. It's basically when the joints don't form quite right. Over time, especially in active dogs like Gordon's, this can lead to, pain and mobility problems.
Which makes sense.
Jude points out the importance of screening, like through the OFA, that's the Orthopedic Foundation for Animals. They have a system for checking hip and elbow health.
And that helps breeders make better decisions.
Precisely. It's had a big impact. And Jude also mentions joint supplements, which can potentially help manage things.
Okay, so early checks and maybe supplements.
Yeah.
No. Another thing Jude brings up is PRA, progressive retinal atrophy.
Yeah.
That sounds, pretty serious.
It is, unfortunately. PRA isn't just one thing, it's actually a group of genetic diseases. They cause the retina in the eye to break down gradually.
Leading to blindness eventually.
Yes, ultimately leads to vision loss. Jude references a study, I think it was 2021, in veterinary ophthalmology. It recommended genetic testing for breeds like setters that are at risk. The key thing here is the testing can find dogs that carry the gene, even if they don't show signs themselves.
Oh, right. So they can pass it on without anyone knowing.
Exactly. That's why testing is so vital for responsible breeders trying to, reduce how often PRA pops up.
That's a really crucial point. Okay, moving on. Jude also covers hypothyroidism. What exactly is that for people who might not know?
So hypothyroidism is basically when the thyroid gland isn't active enough.
Okay.
The thyroid, it controls metabolism, right? So if it's not making enough hormone, you can see things like tiredness, skin issues, sometimes weight gain that you can't easily explain.
And Jude suggests regular testing for this too.
Yes, blood tests every year or maybe every 2 years. Catching it early makes treatment much more effective, and it really helps the dog's quality of life.
Good advice. And the last one in this section Jude mentions is bloat, or the technical term is gastric dilatation volvulus. That's the one owners of deep-chested dogs really worry about.
And for very good reason. GDV, or bloat, is a genuine emergency. The stomach fills with gas and can actually twist on itself. It's life-threatening.
Wow. So what can owners do?
Jude highlights some key prevention tips: feeding smaller meals more often instead of one big one, and importantly, avoiding really vigorous exercise for maybe an hour or two after they've eaten. Simple things, but they can make a huge difference for breeds like Gordon's.
That really is practical, potentially life-saving stuff. Okay, let's shift gears to feeding them. Keeping these active dogs fueled properly. Jude has some solid nutrition advice.
Definitely. A good quality diet is fundamental. For Gordon's, something with moderate calories is usually best, especially thinking about those potential joint issues.
Right, don't want excess weight stressing the joints.
Exactly. Jude suggests about 2.5 to 3.5 cups of food a day, generally, but split into 2 meals.
That helps with the bloat risk we just talked about too.
It does, and it helps keep their energy levels a bit more stable through the day.
And Jude also mentioned specific supplements for joints.
Yes. Things like omega-3 fatty acids, glucosamine, and chondroitin are mentioned. The idea is they might help reduce inflammation and support healthy cartilage.
Worth discussing with your vet, I suppose.
Absolutely. It really depends on the individual dog, but it's a good conversation to have.
And that point about keeping them lean seems to pop up again and again.
It's so critical. Jude emphasizes it. And, studies like the Purina Lifespan study have actually shown that dogs kept lean live significantly longer.
Really? Longer lives?
Yes, and they tend to have fewer orthopedic problems, too. So keeping your Gordon Setter at a healthy weight isn't just about looks. It's genuinely about giving them a longer, healthier life.
Makes total sense.
And, of course, the basics: always have fresh, clean water available, especially after they've been running around.
Can't forget water. Now, Gordons are famous for their energy. Jude gets into their exercise needs.
Oh yeah, they need to move. They're athletic dogs. Jude recommends somewhere around 60 to 90 minutes of exercise each day.
What kind of exercise?
Things like running, good long walks, or, some off-leash time, playing in a safe spot. It's vital for their physical health, but also helps stop them getting bored and developing problem behaviors.
But it's not just about wearing them out physically, is it? Jude mentions mental work, too.
Spot on. Mental stimulation is huge for them. Gordon and setters were bred as hunting dogs, right? They have this strong instinct to use their noses.
So scent games.
Exactly. Scent games, maybe some fun retrieval drills, things that let them use their brain and their nose. It satisfies those natural drive.
Makes them happier overall?
Definitely. Jude also suggests things like canine sports, maybe agility or rally obedience. Resources like the Spruce Pets often talk about these too. They're fantastic ways to channel all that intelligence and drive productively.
Good outlets. Okay, let's talk about that gorgeous coat. Looks like it takes some work.
It does require some upkeep, yes. That silky feathered coat is beautiful, but it can mat if you don't stay on top of it.
So brushing.
Brushing, yeah. Jude advises maybe 2 or 3 times a week. You need to pay special attention to the tricky spots like behind the ears, under their legs, the tail, places where tangles love to form.
And baths. How often?
Generally, every 6 to 8 weeks is fine. Maybe more often if they've had a particularly muddy adventure outdoors.
Happens with active dogs.
It does.
Yeah.
And the feathering on the legs, belly, tail, that might need a little trim now and then, maybe monthly, just to keep it neat and stop it dragging.
Okay. And what about ears and teeth? Often overlooked.
So important. Weekly ear cleaning is a really good habit to get into, helps prevent infections. And brushing their teeth several times a week, ideally, is vital for long-term dental health.
Consistent grooming really seems essential for their comfort and health. Okay, beyond what we do at home, what about the vet? Regular checkups.
Absolutely essential, non-negotiable, really. Those annual checkups are where your vet monitors their overall health and can screen for problems early.
Before they become big problems.
Exactly. And Jude points out these checkups should really include things relevant to Gordon's, so good joint checks, eye exams looking for things like PRA, and those thyroid tests we talked about.
Right. Breed-specific checks.
And for dogs that spend a lot of time outside, like many Gordons do, staying current on vaccines and year-round parasite control, fleas, ticks, heartworm is just critical.
Definitely don't want ticks or heartworm. Jude also mentioned something about extra checks for dogs doing, like intense field work or sports.
Yeah, that's a good point. If your Gordon is basically a canine athlete, competing hard, it's worth talking to your vet about maybe doing some extra screening. Things like blood work before their active season starts, or maybe more detailed orthopedic checks.
Sort of a preseason physical?
Kind of, yeah. It's about being proactive, trying to catch any potential issues before they could lead to an injury during intense activity.
This is all such fantastic, detailed information for anyone with a Gordon or thinking about getting one. Jude also touches on some interesting points about their personality and how they mature.
Yes. One interesting thing Jude notes is that they tend to mature a bit slowly.
Meaning?
Meaning they often keep some of that puppy-like playfulness and, well, maybe mischievousness for longer than some other breeds.
Can be charming, but maybe needs patience.
Exactly. It means consistent training, and yeah, patience are important as they grow up. They also form really strong bonds with their families, super loyal.
But maybe a bit wary of strangers.
They can be, a little reserved sometimes, which just underlines how important early and ongoing socialization is, helping them get comfortable and confident in different situations.
Makes sense.
And even though they can seem a bit independent sometimes, they're very smart. They respond really well to positive training methods, structure, and just knowing what to expect with consistent routines.
Now, it seems like a really good moment to remind you, if you're finding this deep dive helpful, please do like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out.
Yeah, and understanding those little temperament quirks and developmental stages just makes the bond with your Gordon even stronger.
So as we start to wrap up our discussion on Jude's Guide to Gordon Setter Health, what are the absolute must-remember takeaways for our listeners?
Well, I think it really boils down to a few core things. Consistent exercise, both physical and mental, is huge for them.
Got to meet those energy needs.
Definitely. Then, being proactive about their health, regular vet visits, knowing the breed-specific risks like joints, eyes, thyroid, and bloat.
Staying informed.
Right. And finally, just giving them the love, the structure, and the companionship they thrive on. They give so much back.
It really sounds like having a Gordon Setter is an amazing experience, provided you're ready to understand and meet what they need, that mix of loyalty, beauty, and just, well, loving companionship.
They truly are special. That graceful look combined with such a devoted heart, they really become part of the family.
We'd absolutely love to hear from all of you listening. Please jump into the comments section below, share your thoughts, your questions, any suggestions, or maybe your own experiences with caring for Gordon Setters.
Yeah, your insights are so valuable. Sharing experiences helps everyone in the community learn and provide even better care for these fantastic dogs.
Have a beautiful day, take care of your lovely doggies, and we see you on the next one.